Welcome to Bryan High School for tonight's tournament basketball action. Boys basketball Division IV sectional action. Bryan Golden Bears hosting the Maumee Panthers. We got a little purple and gold violence about to happen here, Coach Meister.
A lot of purple and gold in the gym, that's for sure. Should be a good game. I think two teams relatively evenly matched. I think Bryan's strengths may be Maumee's weaknesses. Maumee's strengths may be Bryan's weaknesses. We'll see who can exploit which weakness and who can take advantage of which mismatch.
Little rematch of a first-round game at Anthony Wayne a couple of years ago when Bryan played Maumee. Maumee came out on top in that one. The Bears haven't seen them since that time. Played a little bit of football. There's been some boys sports, girls sports, kind of cross paths a little bit more, but basketball-wise, relatively unknown to each other tonight.
Yeah, Maumee switched leagues, I believe, about 5 or 6 years ago, was in the NWOAL, then jumped into the league with Genoa, Northwood, Oak Harbor. So that has been a school, like a lot of our schools we've seen around here, who's decreased in size, who's changed divisions, and who's changed leagues. So a little familiarity with Maumee, but a little different because they're in a little bit of a different situation than they were the last time these two faced each other.
Bryan and Maumee playing for the right to go to Bellevue on February 20th. We're going to be back right after this. This is the Oberlin-Turnbull countdown to tip-off. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused. We had the chance to chat with Bryan head coach Jacob Parker. You're going to hear that right after this timeout on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Welcome back out to the Golden Bears Sports Network. Don Malinga here, joined with the coach of the boys basketball team, Coach Poker. How are you doing today, Coach?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. All right, so Coach, obviously we haven't really talked in a bit, but let's kind of highlight just two really big games recently. Let's first hit on that Wauseon game. Obviously, going into the season, this team hadn't won a league game in 3+ years, and 28-game losing streak looming ahead of you guys. And you go out there, last league game of the season, last chance for these seniors to win a league game, and they do it. And just how proud are you of those guys, and how much did you have to fight for that game?
It's spectacular for these guys. I mean, they put in all the hard work, and especially this group of seniors that you think about their past and you think about the last couple of years, and they could have hung it up and they could have said, oh well, but they didn't. They've kept coming in. They've enjoyed the game this year. They've put the hard work in every single day, no matter what the outcome is. And I just am so proud and so happy that they got that last league win and they could break that. And then that really solidifies their footprint. You know, Obviously we'd like to have done better and gotten those wins earlier in the season, but the big thing is they never gave up on their goal. And so when your goal is just to get that league win and then continue pushing, you know, I think that's a big thing for somebody and athletes to, no matter what, and they came down to their very last chance. No matter what, don't give up on your goal, and they didn't give up on that goal, and they were able to come out with that game. And it was a battle. I mean, we got up by 12 or something at some point, and then they knocked us right back down and made a big run. But that's what we've been working on all season, is how to handle those highs and lows. And you saw it on Friday night, and you saw it again on Saturday night. And I think Friday night was a big statement for us mentally, you know, being able to hang in those games as a squad and as a team and pick each other up and stay positive the whole game no matter what happened. And they just did a fantastic job mentally as well as playing and handling the basketball late in that ball game.
You talk about mental, like the mental aspect of the game. You talk about pressure. You know, Gavin had struggled a little bit going into that game, and then he takes a really big hit in that third quarter, going up for a layup. He's had issues with his hand and his arm. He comes in and makes that game-winning layup. Like, how important was that for him, just to be able to having all that adversity and be able to face it and end up helping the team win the game?
It's huge, and it's that next play opportunity. It's that next play mentality that not everything is going to go your way, and shooters shoot is one of our memos to everybody, one of our mottos that we live by. And you got to take the last shot, and if you miss it, oh well, you're going to go make the next one. And especially with a guy like Gavin, he's poured his heart and soul into the season and into the basketball career and all 4 years, and he's done a phenomenal job of growing as an individual. To see him get that bucket after missing probably 2 layups earlier in the game, and that was that redemption thing for him to put it in his own head that, hey, I'm gonna get that next opportunity, and no matter what, I'm gonna continue pushing for the team, and I'm gonna be able to be successful and not give up. He could have gave up early in that game and took himself out mentally. He stayed focused, and he got the opportunity there at the end by a great pass by Kingston seeing him, and he knocked it in. And what better as a senior to get that game-winning buzzer beater and put your footprint on the program with getting yourself that league win and taking a step forward.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look forward to the game against Paulding the next day, right? Sometimes it can be hard coming off a high from the win and then going and playing a game that gets pushed earlier because of the weather. Just how important was it that they were able to come back from that late game and then come back and play a great game against Paulding?
Yeah, we played ball games less than 12 hours apart from each other, and they just kept the momentum going. And you saw it on the defensive side of things. And defensively, Paulding's a fantastic offensive team. They've got some very good shooters, some very good athletes, and we didn't really have all the matchups probably go in our favor. But what it took was a whole lot of team defense, and offensively we saw a whole lot of patience, and our guys they're playing on both ends of the floor really well together right now. And that's I think the biggest thing that we saw. And boy, to come out and play against a red hot Paulding team who's ripped off 10 wins in a row and is shooting the ball really well. They just beat Tenora to take a tie of the GMC the night before. They're at an all-time high as well. And to come out and handle the basketball and handle the pressure and make some big runs. And again, mental toughness, that mental aspect of the game of being able to handle those highs and lows is something you're really seeing this team grow into. And that, I think, is one of the things that I really, really love the most about this season, is just seeing that growth in these guys towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and you talked about one of the mottos for your team is shoot or shoot. Let's talk about Drew Ringstrom. He's a guy who doesn't really get much playing time. He comes in there, they drop a play for him to shoot right off the bat, drains a three, and kind of gets the momentum going. 5 points real early for you guys. And just how much is it that you can have guys, they could be kind of sour about not getting much playing time, but he just took his opportunity exactly like he needed to and really helped the team get a lot of momentum to start that game.
Absolutely. Drew's been here every single day, and he's battled injuries this whole high school career. Poor guy seems to have some kind of injury all the time of the year. And it's a testament to him. He comes to practice every day. He works hard. He's trying to push through some ailments that he has, and he does a really nice job for us. He comes in and works hard on defense for us and pushes the rest of our guys. And what a big spotlight for him to come in on senior night, get the start. You saw the smile from ear to ear, and you love it for those kind of guys. They come in and do all the small stuff that you don't see behind the scenes for us. And he comes in, and I tell you what, I called the play, but I gotta give it. Landon Bassett said, "Hey, I'm going opposite of you. You're getting the ball, you shoot it." And I tell you what, Drew stepped up with no fear with a guy in his face.
Yeah.
He was guarding him, and he just pulled the trigger and knocked it down. And it was huge. That was a big momentum thing for us. And what I love to see is all the guys on the bench that knew that's a big time thing for him.
Yeah. Talking about momentum, obviously we won 2 really hard-fought games. Now we're going into tournament, and a lot of coaches talk about peaking right at the right time. Got 2 big wins now, and now you get a chance to play a home tournament game against Maumee. How is that momentum going to carry you guys forward into this game?
Yeah, I think they're just starting to find out that it's the gel and the defensive side of the basketball pushing into our offense, and I think we're playing good basketball on both ends of the floor, and we're handling the ball a little bit less turnovers here and there. I think we're still too high on turnovers, but again, we're being able to handle the game mentally, and I think that's where we're peaking, is we're starting to handle it and not get ourselves into those runs, and we can bounce back. And it's going to be big for us going into Tuesday, and Maumee's coming here. We have a great opportunity to get ourselves into that next game, which tournament's always a different atmosphere. Tournament's always a different mindset. You really don't know what all the stops are that teams are going to pull out now on you to just go get a tournament win. And so it's going to be that atmosphere that a lot of these guys that haven't had a whole lot of experience with too. So it'll be exciting. It's great to have the momentum. It's a lot better than ending the season with 2 more losses and having that losing streak. So it's good to have these guys have some confidence and building in the right way, pushing into Tuesday night, and then hopefully passed on and moving on past that.
Yeah, obviously Maumee, not a team we get to see very much. We saw them a couple years ago in the playoffs, but they're a completely different team now. What are some things you see? What are some keys for you guys to be able to beat them?
We just really got to stop the dribble drive. They drive and attack. They love to get to the middle of the lane and shoot some floaters, and then they kick out to open shooters when they have them. They've got a big guy that they take advantage of in the post every once in a while when he's in, and so we just got to play solid defense. It's a lot of stuff that we've seen this year, and we just got to honor them. We got to take away their dribble drive. We got to play stout defense like we've been preaching the last couple of weeks, and let our defense make them make turnovers, and then go handle the basketball and go score on the offensive end.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Good luck to you guys, and I appreciate you for your time, Coach. And
Thank you.
We'll be back after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Back at Bryan High School for tonight's Division IV sectional basketball game. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and Thiel Supply Center. These two teams last faced each other in the sectional tournament, as I mentioned before, on February 22nd of 2023, so about 2 years ago, when we saw Maumee come out on top 46-34. So let's talk a little bit, Coach Meister, here about our visitors from Maumee tonight.
Maumee is led by head coach T.J. Gillespie in his first year at 5-16. They're averaging just under 50 points a game and allowing about 56, shooting 47% from the field, averaging 30 rebounds, 7 steals, and 2 blocks per game.
And we know coming in, Eli Dotson, I believe, is leading scorer, averaging 12, getting 4 boards tonight. So we'll keep an eye on him early, and we'll kind of be learning them as we go and seeing what kind of crew that they have. So let's look at Bryan and how they've got to this point in the year.
Bryan led by head coach Jacob Parker in his first year, also at 8-14, averaging 48.7 a game and allowing 55.1. Bears are shooting 40% from the field, 31% from the three, 61% from the free throw line, garnering about 25.6 rebounds a game, averaging about 10.3 points a game, and coming off what is their best weekend by far of the year, and showing huge signs of this program taking a big jump forward.
2-win weekend for the Bears is big. It's been a long time since they've been able to say that. So let's look at the keys to the game. Keys to the game tonight are brought to you by the Carlin Company Realty and Auctioneers. They've been your hometown real estate company for over 45 years. Consistently remain #1 in Williams County and the surrounding area since 2007. Call us for all of your real estate needs. So let's look at the keys to the game for the Maumee Panthers.
For the Maumee Panthers, they need to penetrate Bryan's defense and force help. They're at their best when they can penetrate and pitch. They can force Bryan to overhelp. That's where their key will be. Defense and pace. This game has to be in the 40s or low 50s for Maumee. They're not a team that wants to score 60 or 70 a game. They're not going to walk it up the floor, but they're also going to be very intelligent with the shots that they take. Then finally rebounding. They have to limit Bryan's second chance points. They're interesting because they can go real big at 6'4" and 6'7", or they can go real small and go nothing but guards and forwards. So we'll kind of see how that plays out for them tonight.
All right, and the keys for the Bryan Golden Bears in tonight's game.
They have to finish around the basket. I think they just have to finish baskets, period. When they get good looks, they have to make them. Defense leads to offense, and they were really good last weekend against Wauseon and against Paulding, of holding those two offensive powerhouses in check, and finally handle the highs and lows together. This is a tournament atmosphere. For a lot of these kids, this is the first time they'll play in this type of an atmosphere, so you want to see what happens, and typically you are going to have some ebbs and flows. So Coach Parker wants those guys to handle the ebbs and the flows with that same type of calmness and poise.
And besides new kids, you got 2 first-year head coaches in their first tournament game, so a little bit of nerves on the floor and off the floor, I think. Tonight's game officials brought to you by Tri-State Vision Center. They've been serving the area since 1977. Contact us at either our Bryan or Montpelier offices for all of your eye care needs. Tonight's officials are Daryl Phillips Sr., Aaron Moken, and John Boyd. Some tournament assigned officials there. So we're going to take it down now to public address announcer Aaron Hughes. This has been the Oberlin-Turnbull Countdown to Tip-Off. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family owned, family focused. Tonight's national anthem brought to you, as always, by the Veteran Services of Williams County.
Tonight's tournament game is sponsored by the OHSAA. Your attendance and support of the student athletes and coaches is appreciated by member schools competing for the right to move on. Though both teams may be rivals, they are expected to exhibit the qualities of good sportsmanship throughout the contest, and the administration of both schools requests the same from all fans. The officials assigned to this tournament game have met the extensive requirements set by the OHSAA and have been assigned based upon the process approved by the Board of Directors. Tonight's officials are Mr. Darrell Phillips Sr., Mr. Aaron Mokon, and Mr. John Boyd. Gentlemen, welcome to Bryan. The athletes, coaches, and officials are guests of Bryan High School, and all fans are asked to respect the effort each of them has put forth in preparing for tonight's game. We are asking all attending to show courtesy and respect for fellow fans, the officials, coaches, those administering the contest, and of course your team and their opponents. And as important as ever, please remember to respect the game. Thank you. Now to meet the teams. First for the guests on a scoreboard, the Maumee Panthers. Starters for Maumee at a guard, a 6-foot junior, number 0, Ben Kubitz. At a guard, a 5'11 junior, number 3, Paris James Jr. At a guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 23, Eli Dotson. At a guard, a 6-foot junior, number 33, Will Kubitz. And that's the center, the 6'7 senior, number 55, Mike Kiss. Varsity coaches TJ Gillespie, assisted by Tia Crape, Jim Richardson, Steve Bell, Matt Mossing, and Tom Berzine. Now to meet the team as a home on the scoreboard, the Bryan Golden Bears. At a guard, a 5'10 senior, number 1, Mason Welling. At a guard, a 6'3 senior, number 14, Gavin Jessing. At a guard, a 5'11 senior, number 22, Landon Bassett. At a guard, a 6'4 junior, number 23, Kingston Cito. And at a forward, a 6'1 senior, number 32, Carter Dominic. Varsity coaches Jacob Parker, assisted by Chad Bassett, Maurice Zuver, and Casey Spitnall. Gentlemen, let's play ball.
Starting lineup tonight brought to you by the Allie Held Herman Memorial Run and Walk. Mark your calendars and lace up your shoes for the 5th annual Allie Held Herman Memorial Run and Walk on Saturday, July 19th, 2025 in the McDonald Ruff Ice Rink. Ready to tip things off here from Bryan, Coach Meister. Quick
Maumee,
thoughts and expectations.
Maumee right away, they're going to go with their big lineup. Like I said, they can play 5 guards and forwards, or they can go with the big guy in the middle with Kiss at 6'7". They're going to start out. That tells me he's really concerned about offensive rebounding tonight.
And Bryan controls the tip. Cito back to Dominic, and Landon Bassett will bring it across the timeline against a man-to-man defense from Maumee. Jessing hands to Welling, gives to Cito. Left side, step back jumper is going to be short. Rebound by Kiss, long outlet. Looking for James deep. Ball's going to be off of Cito, tipped out of bounds. You talked a little bit about before we went on whether this was going to be a physical ball game or not. Right there, Cito was looking for a little bit of contact, didn't get an early whistle.
Yep, they're going to let the kids decide it on the floor tonight. Hopefully they're consistent and both teams can adjust.
Dotson inbounds out to James, back to Dotson in front of the Bryan bench. Now up to Ben Kubitz. Ben and Will Kubitz, both juniors. I don't know them. I'm going to assume they're related. And there's Ben Kubitz down low. First touch for Mike Kiss. Too strong off glass. Rebound down to the Bears. Kingston Cito looks to quickly push the other way in transition. Step back into a step through. Can't get the 15-footer to go. A couple tips at glass. Can't get it to go, and Kiss gets another rebound from Maumee. Eli Dotson pushes ahead. Ben Kubitz back in, tries to get a touch for Kiss. He can't handle it. Turnover from Maumee, gathered by Carter Dominic. Now he's going to look to push. Hands back to Bassett, to Welling, to Dominic. Right side finds Jessing. Left side, three off front iron, no good. 3 possessions, 3 defensive rebounds for Mike Kiss. So the big guy's working out so far for Maumee.
Yeah, and Bryan's decided to play behind him in the post and force him to shoot over top, which I think is a great idea. I don't think he's one who's going to take a lot of 10-foot jumpers. He wants to get that drop step lay in.
Will Kubitz to Paris James. Now Kiss has it up top. Maumee resets. But a little bit of an open offense here, using Kiss as a screener at the elbow. And this was something where the Bears really stepped up their game last week in that double win weekend. Their man-to-man defense was really impressive, and it looks pretty intense again tonight. Will Kubitz gets trapped on the side. Mason Welling comes in and ties him up. Maumee's going to keep the ball after Bryan got the tip.
Right on cue, as you said. Yeah, right on cue. You talked about how good their defense was. Great job by Mason Welling, step out in that passing lane, forcing a tie-up.
The Bears have really, last weekend now, extended that man-to-man. Good inbounds play there. Dotson tried to find Will Kubitz on the baseline. Doesn't get anything out of it. Ben to Will to Mike Kiss. Back on the block, will try again. He kicks to James. Left side 3, and the junior buries it. First bucket of the night tonight on the main stop scoreboard goes to Paris James Jr., a 3-pointer. Maumee with the early 3-0 lead, 5:38 left here in the opening frame. Dominic has it up top, handoff to Cito, down the right side of the lane, off glass. Good step through by Kingston Cito, good answer by the Bears. First bucket of the night, Kingston Cito for Bryan, 3-2 lead Maumee. Ball back in deep, James again from Kiss. James gets it back up top. Ben Kubitz now stands and holds Kiss up top with a reversal. Double screen for Will Kubitz. His three's on the way. His three's good. So 2 threes up and 2 threes in for Maumee early in a 6-2 lead.
Yeah, if Maumee can continue to shoot the 3 that well, it's going to force Bryan to step out even farther and give less help for Carter Dominic down to the post.
Bassett feeds to Jessing, gets the ball back on a flare screen. Double screen for Cito. He answers with a 3, top of the key. 5 points for Kingston Cito, 5 points for the Bears, and that's a good sign for Coach Parker. Kingston Cito with back-to-back buckets. Eli Dotson, handoff to Will Kubitz. He's going to try another 3. That one's long off back iron. Scramble for the loose ball. Maumee picks it up. Will Kubitz finds Mike Kiss under the basket. He finishes off glass. 8-5 lead for Maumee. Mason Welling, far right side, finds Cito, works off a screen, tries to step through some traffic. Gavin Jesse got the offensive rebound. His shot missed. Cito ends up with it. He works baseline, gets bumped hard by Kiss, so his layup doesn't go, but he's going to go to the Welling Construction free throw line for first 2 free throws of the ball game tonight. Welling Construction, 3rd generation, family-owned general contractor for quality construction, renovation projects, and commercial work. Contact us at 419-636-3712. Kingston Cito, 64% free throw shooter on the year, steps to the line for his first of 2. Makes the first, makes it an 8-6 lead for Maumee, as Kiss will get a break and James will get a break. So we get number 21, Brock Hurd, in the game, and number 24, Carson Greats, in the game. Second free throw rattles out, board to Will Kubitz. Hands to Ben Kubitz, quickly ahead. Eli Dotson's going to fire the 3, and he buries it. Hot shooting here early for Maumee, 11-6 lead for the Panthers.
Yeah, Maumee doing a nice job of finding the open guy, just beating the Bears down the floor on that possession.
Looked like a little bit of a design off a missed free throw, I think, there, Coach Meister, looking to push quickly and get the ball up the floor. Cito with a step through, loses footing, can't get it to go. Jessing's put back, no good. Jessing again, no good. Bears are getting some second chances, just can't get them to go as Maumee looks to push. Nice little pocket pass. Eli Dodson to Brock Hurd, who just checked in. He finishes off glass. We're going to get a timeout, Bears. Coach Parker wants to take a quick 30-second timeout here, but a pretty quick pace. Maumee's been hot early with a 7-point lead to show for it.
Yeah, they do a nice job of getting out in transition, but not forcing anything. If they don't have it, they come back and run their offense, and they've made their open threes, and that's been a big difference. On the Bryan side, a very concerted effort to get Kingston Cedar to the basket, which I think they saw that was a mismatch. I thought maybe he forced his first shot, but after that, his shots have been very good. He's played off 2 feet. A couple of them haven't went. Bears already have 4 offensive rebounds, but if you alluded to, haven't capitalized on those. So the concern on Maumee's part was we can't give up a bunch of offensive rebounds, and they've done it. The concern on the Bears' part, one of the key to the games was they've got to put those baskets back, and they haven't done it. So both teams, their worries are kind of coming to fruition. We'll see if they can adjust and make those changes and see if they can keep Bryan off the boards, if Bryan can start finishing the offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and I don't think Coach Gillespie wants to continue to live on the Bears not finishing on second and third efforts down there. So the Bears in the half court now. Landon Bassett back to Carter Dominic. Was by himself for a second at about 17 feet, and then Hurd is all over him. Kingston Cito, 2 steps behind the three-point line, fires up the 3, can't get it to go. Great hustle play by Landon Bassett. Grabbed the offensive miss and threw it off of a Maumee player, so we're going to have possession. And then looks like we're going to get a flop warning on Kingston Cito. After that 3, he went down again.
Kingston's got to be
right now by Carson Greats.
Kingston's got to be careful here. Really frustrated the official, really frustrated the other players. He doesn't want to do anything to get himself a quick foul or anything like that. Just keep your composure, keep calm, a lot of game left.
Carter Dominic, left elbow extended, working against Brock Hurd. Finds Cito right side. He works against Greats. Shot fake a couple times, can't get it to go. Brock Hurd rebounds. Maumee's got it now. Ben Coots looks to attack against Welling. Boy, I thought Welling, that's a tough one there. He did a pretty good job of getting to the spot, but I think Kubitz created the contact a little quicker than Welling was set, so Mason Welling's going to get banged for his first. Gavin Jessing will take a break for the Bears. Hunter Muehlfeld checks in for him. Maumee with the ball, 2:28 left, opening frame, and a 7-point lead on the Bears. Eli Dotson works down, tries to drop a pass to Hurd, gets kicked outside. Maumee picks up, and Will Greats tries the 3, or Carson Greats, sorry, tries the 3, misses everything. Rebound to the Bears. Landon Bassett quickly down the other end, spin move, can't get it to go. Hunter Muehlfeld, right place, right time. That's what he did last weekend. In the right place, hustle offensive rebound. He's going to get a chance for 2 free throws at the Welling Construction free throw line. Yeah,
great job by Hunter moving when the shot went up, kind of anticipating what side of the rim that was going to come off of. A really nice hustle play by Hunter.
First free throw is up and no good. First foul on Will Kubitz. Just a second foul on Maumee in the quarter. Bears have 1 right now. Carter Dominic's going to get a break as Tucker Watson checks in. Eli Dodson gets a break for Maumee as Paris James checks back in. Second free throw's long. Empty trip to the line there for the Bears. Maumee still with a 13-6 lead on the main stop scoreboard. Open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Don't forget, Thirsty Thursday is only a couple days away. Make it to a main stop. Ben Kubitz kicks to the corner to Greats again. Tried from the same spot, missed again. He hustles down the rebound, hands to Ben Kubitz. Tucker Watson made him alter his shot. It doesn't go. And then we're going to get a foul in the backcourt on Brock Hurd from Maumee as Kingston Cito is trying to get a little bit of an outlet there to Tucker Watson. The Bears will inbound. Hunter Muehlfeld gets the ball into Landon Bassett. Just 6 points for the Bears so far. Impressed with Maumee's defense, but the Bears haven't been able to capitalize on their second and third chances so far. We're going to get a hold called. The official's going to want to have a little conversation here with Brock Hurd. Junior just checked in the ball game. He's going to get his second foul.
And this is a really good piece of officiating because it probably bordered on intentional because he grabbed his jerseys and went by. But there's the veteran official pulling him off saying, do it again, I'm going to call it. Where a lot of officials have been real reactionary. I like that in the first quarter of a tournament game.
Yeah, really nice job by that official. Tucker Miller checks in for Mason Welling. Has the ball immediately, gets a jump shot. Can't get it to go, and then we're going to get another foul. Kingston Cito going for the rebound, getting cut under by Carson Greats. Those two have been pretty physical here so far. And that's 5 fouls on Maumee. I just mentioned 2. So that's 5 fouls. So Cito should go to the free throw line for 2 free throws. So I mentioned it briefly. Tucker Miller just checked in. to give Mason Welling a break. So on the floor for the Bears, Watson, Miller, Muehlfeld, Cito, and Bassett. And we had a sub for Maumee, also 6'4" junior Abram Sutherland checked in to give Brock Hurd a rest after he picked up his second.
Again, a nice job by that same official. He went and had the same conversation with Kingston, telling both of them now, okay, from here on out, control yourselves. I really think he's handled himself very, very well. Again, I don't want to keep harping on that, but you and I have both seen a lot of officials who don't take the time to do that, and they can control a lot of things that way much easier than with a whistle.
Yeah, really nice job by that official to try to keep the game under control. Cito makes both free throws, gets the Bears to within 5 points. 13-8 now, Maumee's lead. Correct? Shouldn't it be 13-8? Scoreboard shows 13-7. I thought he made both free throws. Maumee now in this end. Paris James finds Will Kubitz. He's going to work all the way down left block. Tough floater over 3 Bears. Doesn't go, but Sutherland on the backside. Good offensive rebound by Sutherland just in off the bench. He gets his first 2. 52 seconds left on the clock. 7-point lead for Maumee. Bears work in their half-court offense. Tucker Miller finds Tucker Watson. Watson hands off to Cito, works off of a screen from Watson. Cito kind of got off his steps, missed it off front iron. Maumee's rebound to Paris James Jr., and now Ben Kubitz will get it across the timeline. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Maumee's going to be happy to get one here and end the quarter with the lead. Greats now working against Cito. He goes right baseline, he gets out of control. He's going to turn it over with a travel. Greats has been really good and a pest on defense. Offense doesn't seem to be his game right now.
No. And Greats and Cito have went at it here physically. They're starting to go at it a little bit verbally. I don't think a lot of Christmas invitations being sent out. It's a battle to keep your eye on.
5 seconds. Watson gets the touch deep. His ball hits the rim about 10 times. Little baby hook falls. Big bucket. Bears needed that at the end of the quarter. So 15-10. Tucker Watson gets the baby hook to fall. Bears trail by 5 at the end of 1. We'll be back after this 60 seconds on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we understand that family is at the heart of everything we do.
Being family-owned and family-focused is not just a slogan for us, it's a way of life. We walk alongside you during life's most challenging moments, providing a guiding hand and a shoulder to lean on.
With heartfelt care and attention to detail, we tailor each service to honor the life and the memories of your loved one. We treat you like family because your journey is our journey.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family-owned, family-focused.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Back at Bryan High School, Maumee with a 15-10 lead here after 1. Bears will have possession. And Coach Meister, any stats that jump off the page at you right now?
Here's the big one. Bryan, 6 offensive rebounds, but 2 for 14 from the field from the 2. That's the name of the game right now. That's the entire story.
You got to be happy with the intensity on the glass. Now we just need to finish. Jessing works. Left elbow, jump shot's good. And there's a good bucket. Back-to-back buckets for the Bears, cut into that lead. Just a 3-point lead now for Maumee. Maumee quickly the other way. Will Kubitz can't get the 3 to go, but Ben Kubitz rebounds, attacks. He can't get it to go. Defensive rebound. Tucker Watson altered the shot, then pulled down the board. Mason Welling looks to push. Hands off to Watson. Watson again. Tucker Watson, a couple of huge field goals coming in, giving some offense and some energy off the bench. 1-point ball game now on the main stop scoreboard.
We talked about Maumee playing their big squad and then playing their little squad. When they went little, they made the run, but right now the Bears are exposing them going to that smaller lineup.
Ben Kubitz works into the paint, kicks opposite to Will. Will can't get it to go. Defensive rebound for Kingston Cito. And outside of maybe a possession or two, the Bears have done a really good job on the defensive glass. Kingston Cito Pivot move, can't get it to go. Good board on the backside by Will Kubitz. And Ben will bring it across the timeline for the Panthers. 15-14, Maumee leads a minute and a half into the second quarter. Mason Welling a little too aggressive. He's going to get his second foul with a little body out top, and he's going to get sub here. Landon Bassett's going to check in for senior Mason Welling. Protect him in his 2 fouls. On the floor for the Bears, Watson, Muehlfeld, Jessing, Bassett, and Cito. On the floor for Maumee is Sutherland, both Kubitz, Eli Dotson, and Paris James. Maumee inbounds into James. He hands off to Ben Kubitz, works off a screen from James. Back to James, top of the key. Will Kubitz now works against Landon Bassett. Back to James. James hasn't really looked to shoot. I don't think the outside shot is much in his game. Hand off to Dotson. Dotson against Jessing. Spin move into the paint. Leaves it short off front iron. Nice offensive move. Couldn't finish. In the half, Maumee with a 1-point lead. Ben Kubitz. Slip screen from Sutherland. Nice defense there by Hunter Muehlfeld. Maumee backs out. Reset their offense. Bears did a really nice job defending that set. A lot of moving pieces. Sutherland works a couple of pivots against Tucker Watson. Can't find anything. Kicks out to Eli Dotson, who hands off to Ben Kubitz. Backdoor look to Dotson. Dotson with the kick to Sutherland. Gets his shot affected by Cito. Can't get it to go. He tries again. Can't get that one to go. Rebound to Tucker Watson. Landon Bassett pushes strong to the hoop. Lost control at the rim. Wanted a foul, but ball came out of his hands. Rebound to Maumee. Quickly ahead to James. He can't get it to go, but Sutherland there to clean it up for Maumee. 17-14 Maumee leads.
Nice hustle play by Sutherland, trailing that play. Never let up. Sprinted the whole way down the floor and got rewarded with a good offensive rebound putback.
Tucker Watson on the block. Yet a dig down by Will Kubitz. Poked it away. Ball was on the floor. Landon Bassett calls a timeout to save the possession for the Bears. That's going to be their second timeout. Looks like Coach Parker wants another 30-second timeout. So keep it here. It feels like it's a really fast-paced game for a 17-14 game early here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I don't think either team has washed it up and down the floor, but they've done a nice job of getting it up and down the floor. I think both teams have done a nice job of recognizing when they've had the numbers and no one to pull it out and when to take it. I am really fascinated by the fact that Maumee went big real early, and there wasn't a lot of offensive rebounds to be had. They pulled 6-7 Mike Kiss out of the game, but they made their run and got ahead, but they're giving up all kinds of offensive rebounds. So I'm sure Coach from Maumee has got to be thinking, which one do I take? You know, which dice do I roll?
Yeah, because he's running 4 6-footers out there, and that's being kind to Paris James, and 6'4" in the middle right now with Abram Sutherland, as Kiss continues to sit.
Right, and they have done this all year. They have flip-flop lineups from big to small depending on the success of their offense.
Bears out of bounds play underneath against that Maumee zone. Hunter Muehlfeld got the ball on the block but gets tied up, so that's going to turn it over to Maumee after the jump ball call. Nice defense there by the Panthers, collapsing right away as soon as the ball came into Hunter Muehlfeld. Ben Kubitz walks it across the timeline, hands off to Will Kubitz. Gets it back to Carson Grates, who's back on the floor for Maumee. Hands off to James, flare screen to Grates. Tries to attack left side. Kind of lost his dribble, got trapped, but he finds James on the right side. James will pull it back out. Grates back up top to James, back all the way back up to Ben Kubitz. Maumee resets. Kubitz works off a screen from Sutherland. Nice pass to Sutherland on the roll. Kind of threaded the needle with a lefty pass. There we get the bucket and the foul. Foul's going to be called on number 22, Landon Bassett, his first, second of the team on the team this quarter. Sutherland's going to go to the line, try to finish off the traditional three-point play.
Great look by Kubitz.
Stuck that in a really tight window. Put a little bit of juice on that thing, too. Good hands by Sutherland as he hits the free throw. 20-14, Maumee leads with 4:19 left in the half. Hunter Muehlfeld and Tucker Watson will take a break. Kingston Cito and Carter Dominic check back in. Great minutes there by Tucker Watson for the Bears.
Great
Huge
minutes.
Miller brings it across, gets it to Dominic at the right elbow. Dominic squares up. Landon Bassett resets up top. Sets the offense for the Bears. Dominic again, right elbow extended. Bears run some curls off. Ball gets poked away by Sutherland. Dominic back up top with the ball. Tightly defended by Sutherland. He puts his shoulder down, tries to get some ground, kicks it to Miller in the corner. Now Dominic wants in the post. Good, strong offensive move there. Through some contact from Sutherland. Finished his high off glass. Carter Dominic's first bucket gets the Bears back within 4.
Nice strong move by Carter Dominic down low. And I think the Bears, again, I think they can score down low, but they've got to get the ball there.
You could tell Carter Dominic wanted that touch. He was a little frustrated by some of the defense out top. Maumee turned it over. Bears turn it right back over. Ball ends up in Ben Kubitz's hands, and he buries the 3 right in front of the Bryan bench. So a little bit of bad luck. Didn't take care of the ball. Bears got a turnover and then tried to go a little bit too quick. Tucker Miller across the timeline. Start the offense again in Carter Dominic's hands on the right elbow. Works against Sutherland. Spin move, fade away. Rattles in and out. Rebound down to Will Kubitz. He looks to push ahead. Sorry, that's Ben Kubitz. Take a 17-footer and knock down the jump shot. Smooth and true for Kubitz. 25-16, 9-point lead now. Biggest of the night for Maumee. 2:43 left here in the first half. Maumee comes in 5-16, 2-12 in the Northern Buckeye Conference and playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of energy, kind of that second season mentality, Coach Meister, of got a chance to get some things right in the tournament, see what they can do.
Yeah, and that's the neat thing about the basketball tournament. Teams get a second chance. Maybe this Maumee team's gotten better. I was just going to say something's got to happen because right in front of us, whoever was guarding Gavin Jessing was banging his forehead into his chest. The post player was kneeing Carter Dominic right between the legs, and then 24, who has just run his mouth the entire night, was literally shoving Kingston Cito. So at some point, this is the veteran official group. They're not going to let that go, and they gave them their warning. But I'm glad they did that because I think at some point Maumee's tactic is get very physical and try to frustrate Bryant. I don't want to say they're crossing over the line, but they're getting close to that line. This is where good officials have to set the tone.
And I think they're trying to find out where that line is, and that official's just established where that line is because 24 has been happy to jaw and clap right in Kingston Cito's face a bunch, and I think that official just kind of set the bar of here's what I'm going to allow and here's what I'm not going to allow. Cito goes to the line, makes both free throws. First player into double digits. He's got 10. Bears trail by 7, 25-18, 2:13 left in the first half. Right back, set play to Cito. He draws all kinds of attention down low. Ball gets poked away. Scramble for the ball on the sideline. Comes loose in the backcourt. Tucker Miller ends up with it, so no harm, no foul. Bears back in possession. Landon Bassett works through 3 Maumee defenders, fakes the pass to the corner, finishes high off glass. Good offensive move. Landon Bassett's on the board with 2. Bears back to within 5. Ben Kubitz across the timeline, hands off to Paris James. James hands off to Will Kubitz, working against Landon Bassett, back up top to Ben. He directs some traffic and resets the Maumee offense. Works to the left side. Will Kubitz works off of a screen, has the ball top of the key, thought about a 3, didn't take it. Sutherland down deep, kicks to Dotson. Dotson left side 3, money again. 2 threes from there, neither one's drawing iron. Gets the lead back to 8 for Maumee with 1:08 left here in the half. Bassett finds Dominic. Dominic working against Sutherland. Handoff to Tucker Miller. Penetrate, kick to Bassett. 3-pointer on the way. No good. Ball tipped around. Cito's got it. Finishes inside. Another offensive rebound. That time the Bears finish. 6-point lead for Maumee. 28-22. 48 seconds left on the main stop scoreboard. Maumee's going to try to be patient here as they run their offense in the half court. James hands off. Dotson up top, working against Kingston Cito. Hand back off to James. James gets it right side to Ben Kubitz. He was working off a screen from Sutherland, gets it into Sutherland. Sutherland kicks out top to Dotson. 22 seconds left. Maumee resets. Going to try to work for a final shot here now.
Bears have a couple fouls to give. I think I would not be afraid to not let them get off a clean look.
Dotson ends up with it on the left side off the set play. Ben Kubitz on Tucker Miller, works to cross over, gets to the right block. Ball fake, fade away, off back iron, no good. So that's the way the half's going to end. Half ends at 28-22. Maumee with a 6-point lead. Hot from outside the three-point line. Little chippy here early. A lot of good intensity defensively for both teams. Doesn't seem like a super high-scoring game, but I think it's been a pretty good basketball game so far on all accounts.
Yeah, been very entertaining. Both teams have played very hard. Again, not trying to be critical of anything, but I think Maumee crossed the line. You said it got a little chippy. I think that cost them because they were up 11. All of a sudden they get the technical. Bears go on a little run, cut it to 6. We'll see if that plays a part into it. And then the other piece of that is Coach Parker has to talk to his kids at halftime about holding your composure. Don't retaliate. The second guy always gets caught. Playing your game, play basketball. Eventually those things work themselves out. Definitely part of the game plan, that physicality to step on the line, kind of step across the line a little bit. Maumee trying to rattle the Bryan scores, especially. You talked about the player that had his forehead on Gavin Jessing's chest in man-to-man. Greats has been very vocal and clapping right in the face of Kingston Cito, trying to see if he can rattle him a little bit. Cito's responded. He's got 12. I think, if he finishes some of his other looks, he's had a lot of other good looks so far. So I think there's a lot of positives as far as the Bears are concerned offensively. Offensive rebounds, getting good looks. Shooting percentage goes up, finishing percentage goes up, and I think the Bears are going to be fine. Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with you. Again, get those quality looks, and when you miss, go to the offensive boards. I haven't looked at the stats yet, but the Bears did a nice job on the offensive rebounding end, but it's finishing off those offensive rebounds are going to be huge. Well, it's halftime here at Bryan High School. The Maumee Panthers with the 28-22 lead in Division IV sectional basketball. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some stats and talk about adjustments here at halftime at Bryan.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Back at Bryan High School, tonight's Division IV boys basketball game is brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and Thiel Supply Center. So we got some halftime stats here to look at. Tell a little bit of the story for how we got to this 6-point lead for the Panthers. Yeah, let's talk team stats first. Coach Arnold for Maumee, they were 6 for 15 from the 2, an outstanding 5 for 11 from the 3. 6 offensive rebounds, 9 defensive rebounds, only 2 turnovers, and they were 1 for 1 from the line. The Bryan Golden Bears, 7 for 23 from the 2, 1 for 4 from the 3. That's an 8 for 27, and again, that's some of the things that have plagued them all year. Bears had 7 offensive rebounds. Great job of getting to the glass. 8 defensive rebounds. They only had 3 turnovers. Got to the foul line 8 times. It made 5 of those free throws. As far as individual scoring, for Maumee, Ben Kubitz with 5. Paris James Jr. with 3. Brock Hurd with 2. Will Kubitz with 3. Eli Dodson with 6. Big Mike Kiss with 2, and they're led by Abram Sutherland with 7. For the Bears, Gavin Jessing with 2, Kingston Cito with 12, Carter Dominic with 2, and Tucker Watson came in and gave them great minutes with 4. And those are your halftime stats. And foul-wise, it didn't seem like the whistle was real heavy, but I know fouls started to rack up a little bit. I think the only Golden Bear with 2 is Mason Welling, maybe. And then on the Maumee side, I know Brock Hurd came in off the bench, picked up a couple fouls. Does Kiss have foul trouble also? He sat a little bit there in the first half. No, Kiss only has 1. He just sat because he felt like they weren't very effective in their offense with him on the floor. We talked about pick your poison. I think Coach from Maumee just decided I need to get points on the board, and we'll have to worry about the rebounding in a little bit later, because early on, like I said, they weren't giving up a lot of offensive rebounds, but their offense seemed to be a little bit bogged down with Big Mike Kiss in the middle. Yeah, and I think you're right. He was not effective, and Sutherland came in and proved to be a little more effective. It gave up a couple of inches, but it seemed like his quickness and the touch around glass were a little bit better, more effective for Maumee in there. And not knowing Maumee extremely well, we haven't had a chance to see them play. Obviously, coming in at 5-16 and 2-12, there weren't a lot of nights where they just torched the net. So can they continue that kind of torch shooting from three? Can they stay that effective from outside the arc? And can they keep the Bears cool from outside the arc?
Yeah, you're right. When they brought Sutherland in, that didn't let Bryan sink off in the middle like they could with Kiss. Kiss would catch the ball 17, 18 feet away, and his man would just sit in the middle of the lane and knock down those cuts. The second thing, which you alluded to, they did shoot the ball extremely well. They got some open looks, but they also made some contested shots. A team that's 5-16, you don't think they shoot that well, but again, like you said, second season tournament, will they maintain that in the second half? And again, what kind of defensive adjustments will Bryan make?
Yeah, and you got the Bryan Bears come in with a load of seniors. We saw that last weekend on senior night, a bunch of kids in their last chance, and they get a chance to play at home, so that's an emotional thing. On the other side, Maumee has 4 seniors, and those seniors only one of them was a starter, and Kiss didn't play a lot. So you got some young guys. You can treat that as a coach as, hey, this is going to be a good way for us to build into next year. What can we do in the tournament? Can we find a way to play 2 games in the tournament? And again, can we find another way to play a 3rd game in the tournament? So, find a way to build that intensity. It looks like they've done a pretty good job of that so far. So we're going to take a quick break here on the Golden Bears Sports Network, come back and talk halftime adjustments and try to get some out-of-town scores in the other district games going on tonight. Brian Arnold, Tim Meister here with you. We'll be back after this break.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
All right, we're back at halftime here. Both teams are back on the floor. 2:30 left until we get to second half action. Coach Meister, let's talk a little bit of adjustments here in second half for both teams.
Let's start with Maumee. I think they have to continue to do what they've done. Maybe step back to physicality a little bit. Obviously continue to be physical, continue to guard very hard. But again, like we talked about, don't cross that line. Don't put yourselves in some foul trouble or another potential technical. Again, I think he's better off with this small lineup right now. That seems to be the most effective. So I know you have a 6'7" center that can be effective, but at this point in this game, I don't know that he will. So I think the adjustment he's going to make is he may start out small. I'll be curious to see what that starting lineup looks like. For the Bryan Golden Bears, I think the big thing, if I'm Coach Parker and that coaching staff, I think let's make a concerted effort to get the big guys the ball in the block. There is no way Maumee can defend this. We've thrown that by the number of offensive rebounds we've gotten, the time we've gotten Dominic or Cedar were jesting the ball down inside. Maumee can't defend it. I'm not saying we give up on the three-pointer. I'm not saying we can't be aggressive. But I'm saying let's make a conscientious effort to get the big guys some touches down there. Let's force Maumee to guard us at that point. And then the other piece of this is at some point will Bryan pick up a little bit of the full court pressure? Will he try to go to a zone and trap out of it? Just something to give Maumee a little bit of a different look to get them out of that offensive comfort zone they seem to have found.
Well, there's a definite advantage there for the Bears. Maumee's playing one post. It's 6'7", it's 6'4", but they're playing one at a time. The other 4 guys are 6 foot or less, and that means, like you just talked about, Cito or Jessing or Dominic have somebody that's smaller than them, and there's a good opportunity for the Bears to score inside. So we'll see if that's something that they focused on. Yeah, right now, some other tournament action going on tonight. At the half in our district, Port Clinton leads Vermilion 20-11. Outside of our district, Van Wert leads Kenton, final 58-20. At the half, Continental leads Corey Rawson 15-14. So those are some of the out-of-town scores we have for you. Out-of-town scores are brought to you by WBNO, WQCT. No one covers Williams County sports like 100.9 B-Rock. And follow the Bryan Golden Bears all season long on Q96.5. Listen on air or online at WBNO, WQCT.com. 15 seconds left here. Bears will have possession to start the half, down 6. Good start is always important regardless of which side that you're on, and if the Bears can get a couple of good looks, get a couple of good touches here, find a way to claw themselves back in, erase this deficit as quickly as possible, I think the script on this game could flip pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think you want to make Maumee play from behind. Let's see how comfortable they are in that situation. A little easier to play ahead. You're a little more comfortable. Get behind, all of a sudden that pressure flip-flops. A little more difficult to do things in that type of situation.
All right, Bryan has possession. Landon Bassett up top, directing some traffic. Mason Welling now back on the floor with his 2 fouls to start the half, and there's a look right away to get a touch. We're going to get a foul away from the ball on the Bears. Moving screen on Landon Bassett. That'll be his second foul. So the Bears get a turnover in their first possession of the half. Looked a little bit out of sorts starting the possession. Maumee will have it now with a 6-point lead and the ball. Ben Kubitz, Will Kubitz, Paris James Jr., Mike Kiss, and Eli Dotson on the floor for Maumee. Their 5 starters back out there. Bears 5 starters, Welling, Bassett, Cito, Jessing, and Dominic are on the floor. Both teams back in man-to-man. James in front of his own bench. Gets the ball to Dotson, free throw line, tacks right side, right hand won't go. Kiss with the offensive rebound and the finish off glass. He makes his presence known. He should be well rested. He sat the whole second quarter. So he's got 4 and gives Maumee an 8-point lead. Bassett attacks the right block and tries to bounce pass through to Dominic, but that kick gets kicked out of bounds by the Panthers, so the Bears will have the ball underneath their own basket. Bassett into Dominic, up to Cito, swung around to Jessing, all the way around to the opposite corner to Mason Welling. Attacks with the left hand. Baseline pass to Dominic. Bassett fumbled a little bit and finds Gavin Jessing working against Paris James. He'll kick out to Dominic. Dominic to Cito on the left elbow. He's defended by Eli Dotson. Shot fake, 15-foot jumper from Cito is good. 14 points, 6-point lead for Maumee now. Ben Kubitz gets it across the timeline, defended by Mason Welling, over to Paris James. Maumee running some continuity, and brother to brother can't make the connection. Will Kubitz throws it out of bounds. Ben Kubitz looked like he was going to make the backdoor cut. So a turnover there, turnover for both teams after a really clean first half in that category.
Yeah, nice job by Mason Welling. That's about the 3rd time tonight he's got out so far in that passing lane. He's caught Maumee off guard and forced a bad pass.
Cito, 3-pointer from in front of the Bryan bench. Again, ends up on the floor. No call from the official. Eli Dotson to Will Kubitz, long with his 3. Ball gets all the way out to half court. Maumee chases it down. Ben Kubitz over his head pass to Mike Kiss. Kiss kind of got trapped under the bucket. Seems like one dribble would have got him where he wanted to go. Kicked out to James. Maumee resets the offense. Ben Kubitz up top. 30-24, Maumee leads about a minute and a half into the 3rd quarter on the main stop scoreboard. Paris James swings to Will Kubitz, loses his footing, but he's able to tip it away to Ben Kubitz. Finds Mike Kiss. Nice pass. Bryan defense kind of lost Kiss underneath the basket. 4 quick ones for the 6'7" senior.
Yeah, that's twice Bryan's defender just flat out lost Kiss. Got caught looking at the ball, not their man.
Kiss is just too big to lose. He's a mountain in there. That ball goes off Kingston Cito's foot, tightly defended again. His dribble went off his foot out of bounds to the Bryan bench, so another turnover for the Bears. Maumee with an 8-point lead and the ball. 5:09 left here in the 3rd quarter on the main stop scoreboard. Open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Don't forget Thirsty Thursday every Thursday. Paris James works against Cito. Now Eli Dotson with the ball against Gavin Jessing. Back to James, defended by Kingston Cito tightly outside the 3-point line. Cito with a couple of deflections on passes there, harassing James, but not able to get the turnover. Kiss now up on the half-court circle, finds Ben Kubitz, backdoor cut, hangs, can't finish. Gavin Jessing with a great challenge and no foul, and he gets the defensive rebound. Jessing pushes ahead, finds Dominic left side, thought about the three, passed it up, gets it down, tries the lob into Cito. And then I think we're going to figure out Kingston Cito wasn't able to get up to that ball because he was getting a little bit of a bear hug from Paris James Jr., who does not protest.
He does not protest, and I don't know if that was by accident or design, but they took Carter Dominic and stepped him out, which means Mike Kiss is out 20 feet from the basket. They got the ball to Cito on a much smaller guy. I think that's a great game plan if the Bears can continue to do that.
Great matchup there for the Bears. Bears inbound. Landon Bassett's got it. 17-footer from the free throw line, leaves it short. Cito with the rebound, kicks to Dominic. His three's on the way and good. Carter Dominic with a big three. 5 points now and a 5-point lead for Maumee. Big bucket right there for the senior.
Yeah, and if Carter can score from the perimeter again, that's a great matchup for us on the offensive end. May force Maumee into deciding what to do with their bigs again.
We're getting an offensive foul against Kiss. Maumee trying to work a little bit of a two-man game. Flare screen off of that to get Ben Kubitz open for the three, but they get the foul on Kiss. 5-point lead. Maumee's going to take a timeout. Coach Gillespie wants to talk about things. Full timeout. We're going to take it with him here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan Built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan Built.
At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we understand that family is at the heart of everything we do.
Being family-owned and family-focused is not just a slogan for us, it's a way of life. We walk alongside you during life's most challenging moments, providing a guiding hand and a shoulder to lean on.
With heartfelt care and attention to detail, we tailor each service to honor the life and the memories of your loved one. We treat you like family because your journey is our journey.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family-owned, family-focused.
Come back after that full timeout. Timeouts tonight sponsored by S&S Directional Boring. Don't let old lead water lines or broken sewer laterals give your home an unexpected timeout. Unsure if you have lead water lines? Call S&S Directional Boring at 419-630-0726 and we'll inspect it for you. Bears get it across half court. Tucker Miller has checked in for Landon Bassett. Finds Gavin Jessing, right side three, short and over the backboard. Possession will go to Maumee. Good look there for Jessing, but I'm like you, Coach. I think with the matchups, I'd like to see him get a little closer to the basket.
And Maumee came out and went to a 3-2 matchup zone. I don't know if that's a one possession to give him a different look out of a timeout or if they're going to try to go to that to keep Bryan from getting into the paint.
Maumee showing your favorite, a little bit of flex action.
This offense should be outlawed. And that's why.
Coach Gillespie might think the same thing after that possession right there as they turn it over, and then Carson Grates is going to pick up another foul, tripping Gavin Jessing from behind after he picked up that loose ball. That'll be 3 on Carson Grates. Senior just checked in the ball game for Maumee, and he is assigned again with guarding Kingston Cito. Tucker Miller brings it across, gets it to Mason Welling. Mason Welling finds Carter Dominic. He's going to try another 3. On line but short. Ball gets tipped out long. Run down by Will Kubitz. He goes to the basket. Trailing official is going to call a foul on the finish. Bucket was good. Foul's going to be on Gavin Jessing. That'll be just his first, but the bucket's good, and Will Kubitz is going to go to the line for a chance for the traditional three-point play. Brock Hurd is back in for the first time for Maumee. Free throw is up and good. Lead back to 8 now for Maumee and 6 points for Will Kubitz. It feels like whenever the Bears have made a run, Maumee has had some kind of answer. It hasn't been huge. They haven't pulled away, but it's been enough just for them to stay comfortable and for the Bears to be uncomfortable. As Jessing kind of got stuck, decided, you know what, I'm going to shoot this fadeaway from 15 feet, knocks it down. The Bears are going to go as Gavin Jessing goes. Knocks down the jump shot. He's just got 4. Bears back within 6.
The great point, Coach Arnold. I'd like to see us get the big guy rolling a little bit. Let's feed him.
Good man-to-man defense there by Mason Welling. Forces a 5-second call against Ben Kubitz. Coach Gillespie not too sure about that one, but the official had the count. Turnover to Maumee. Bears will have the ball out of bounds. Gavin Jessing comes over to the sideline, has to remove some tape from his wrist. So Bears ball. 2:23 left in the third. Maumee 35-29 lead. 3 fouls in the quarter on Maumee, a couple on the Bears. Mason Welling works off of a screen from Cito. He's going to hoist a 3. Off back iron, doesn't go, and then we're going to get a foul on Gavin Jessing. The official about at half court is going to call an over the back on the 6'4 Jessing over the top of the 6-foot defender. I'm not too sure about that one.
Yeah, that's a tough call because I thought Gavin went straight up on that.
Not an automatic. Maybe in little kids basketball that's an automatic, but not right there. And then the Bears pick up another foul. So 4 fouls now. Cito gets a whistle for one, trying to poke the ball away from Carson Grates on the outside. Next foul for the Bears will send Maumee to the line. Still no one in any big trouble. Jessing's got 2, Welling's got 2. They're the only Bears with multiple fouls. Maumee inbounds in front of the Bears stands. Dotson back to Carson Grates. Works against Cito. All the way to the basket. Can't get it to go, but Cito's going to pick up another foul. Back-to-back on him. So as soon as I say that, now Cito's got 2. 5 team fouls for the Bears. And Carson Grates is going to go to the line and shoot 2 free throws.
That's one where I'm not sure as a coaching staff, I don't switch Cito on to somebody else because obviously there's a little bit of bad blood between those two right now. Let's not put him in that situation. Have him guard somebody else and you kind of take that piece away from there.
At least give him a break away from Grates on that end of the floor and just to clear your head a little bit each possession. First free throw is good. Lead back to 7. Grates will take his second free throw, and it's good as well. 38-29, Maumee with the lead. 1:57 left on the main stop scoreboard. First 2 points of the night for Carson Grates, who has definitely been in for defense. Tucker Miller hands off to Bassett, hands off to Cito. Cito outside the three-point line, works to left elbow, hands it off to Dominic. Dominic now back to Cito. Finds Jessing cutting free. Carter Dominic now on the right block against Hurd. Fadeaway. Bucket's good. Hurd's going to get called for the foul. That'll be 3 on him. More importantly, Bucket's good. Carter Dominic with a chance to go to the Welling Construction free throw line, get the Bears within 5 if he can knock this free throw down.
Nice job by the coaching staff there. They're starting to recognize those mismatches, and they're really trying to get that ball down to the post. And again, like we talked about at halftime, I think it would go down there every possession until Maumee shows that they can stop it.
Carter Dominic knocks down the free throw, 65% free throw shooter. Knocks that one down smooth. And here's a little bit of press here, Coach Meister, to see how the Panthers handle the length of the Bears. Quickly across, Will Kubitz, set shot 3, no good. Defensive rebound down to Landon Bassett on the backside. Bears down 5, chance to cut into that Maumee lead a little bit more this possession. Grates now on Bassett. Dotson on Cito. Cito's got it in the walkaway. Left baseline, turn around, no good. Rebound to Bassett, no good off glass. Unfriendly roll off the home rim right there for Landon Bassett. Hurd pulls down the rebound. Maumee gets it into the front court. Will Getz is going to try an open 3 again. Back iron, no good again. A couple of free looks for him the last couple possessions. Can't get either one to go. That ball goes out of bounds. Not touched by anyone, so Maumee now. Or the Bears will have the ball, and we have another conversation. Brock Hurd in the middle of another little scuffle, this time with Carter Dominic. Woo. 42 seconds left. Maumee with a 5-point lead, and the chippiness has not let off any, Coach Meister, from the first half.
It's chippiness combined with intensity. It's I don't want to say it's volatile, but I say it's a step away.
Bassett, a lot of contact, and gets it to go off glass. That foul's going to be on Ben Kubitz. Good finish by Landon Bassett. Good strong move into the paint, and he's going to go to the Welling Construction free throw line, try to finish off a 3-point play.
And there's a young man made a high IQ basketball play. Instead of getting Chippy right back, I'm going to put her on the floor. I'm going to take it through you. You want to get physical, fine. We're going to get you right to the basket. So I thought a great read by Landon right there.
Bassett's free throw is up and good. Gets him to 5. More importantly, 2-point lead for Maumee, as close as the Bears have been in quite a while. Three-quarter court pressure again. Maumee gets it across to James. James into a trap. Gets the ball to Ben Kubitz. Sees a lane open down the middle. Easy layup at the rim. No Bears rotated over. 10 seconds left. 4-point lead here for Maumee. Coming down to the end of the third quarter, Cito got a clear out against Carson Greats. Crossover to the rim. Strong to the basket. Can't get the layup to go, but we're going to get a whistle against Carson Greats. So Kingston Cito is going to finish the third quarter at the free throw line. Chance to get the Bears within 2. Nice attack. 4 fouls on Carson Greats, and that's good because he's been a pretty emotional leader tonight for Maumee. He's been a defensive pest for the Bears, a thorn in our side. One more and his night will be done as Cito knocks down the first free throw. Second free throw is up and good as well. So Cito gets to 16. Bears get within 2. We're going to the final quarter of Bryan. Maumee with a 39-37 lead. We'll be back on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan Built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan Built.
Start of fourth quarter action here from Bryan High School. Maumee with possession and a 2-point lead. Maumee's got 4 timeouts left. The Bears have 3. You got a good feeling right now this game's going to go down to the wire, Coach Meister.
Yeah, really liked how Bryan responded in the third quarter. 3 really hard drives to the basket that resulted in 7 points. See if the Bears can continue that in the fourth quarter.
The Bears come out in a 1-3-1, give it a little bit of a different look for the first time tonight. Diagonal pass tipped away into the hands of Paris James. Three-pointer can't go. Maumee has cooled off a lot from three-point land here in the second half. That ball's rebounded by Cito. Miller's got it, gives to Jessing. Jessing to Cito, working against Paris James. He'll rise and shoot left elbow. Air ball, no good. Jessing's rebound, no good. The ball gets knocked out of bounds. Landon Bassett working hard, trying to get to that. So again, Bears got a good look inside, couldn't get the putback to go. Carter Dominic's going to take a break. Tucker Watson will check in. And then you're going to get an answer from Coach Gillespie. Sutherland will come out, and 6'7" senior Mike Kiss will check back in. Maumee works against the Bears, three-quarter court pressure. Playing a little bit of catch with it. Diagonal to James, gets it broken. He finds Will Kubitz in the corner. Ben Kubitz is going to try a 3. No good again. Rebound by Gavin Jessing. Bears dodging some bullets from the three-point line here in the second half. Landon Bassett again, left hand, finishes off glass. Get a chance for a finish right here. Another one off glass through contact. Bears have a chance for their first lead of the night, I believe, if Bassett can finish this three-point play. Hang around, hang around, hang around. Maumee has not been able to knock down the outside shot anywhere close to what they did in the first half, and the Bears have their first lead of the night. Landon Bassett gets to 8, and the Bears are up 40-39.
Whatever adjustment Bryan made there with about 2 minutes left in the third, they have spread the floor, they've reversed the ball, and then they've attacked with the dribble, and Maumee has not been able to step over and help. A great adjustment by the coaching staff. If that continues, I think Maumee will struggle defending Bryan the rest of this quarter.
Maumee breaks the pressure, has it in the front court. Ben Kubitz attacks. He can't get the 9-footer to go. Another defensive rebound for Gavin Jessing, and the Bears look to push and add to the lead. Bassett to the rack again. Another finish for Landon Bassett, and the Bears have found something that works. Landon Bassett feels really good attacking the basket. 8 points for him in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. Maumee attacks back. Eli Dotson finds Mike Kiss. He gets fouled by Tucker Watson. He's going to go to the line. Bears now with a 3-point lead, 6:21 left here in the game on the main stop scoreboard. And Bryan's battled all the way back. Maumee let him hang around, couldn't knock down open shots, and the Bears just kept chipping away, playing good defense, and they've got a 3-point lead. Kiss's first free throw is good. 42-40 Bears lead. 7 points now for the 6'7" senior. Second free throw is up. Line drive good. 1 point lead for the Bears. 30-second timeout here for Maumee. So Coach Meister, a little change in things right here. Maumee wants to have a little bit of a talk after the Bears have been able to swing momentum and take the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I got to think one of two things. That's kind of a bizarre timeout to take right there, especially knowing you may need him at the end of the fourth quarter. He's either going to switch defenses and go back to that matchup zone and maybe wants to put people in the right way, or I think he may tell someone, pick a player, they probably have scouted this, whatever player that is, they feel like they can step off and help. They're going to say step off in the middle of the lane, help on those drives because they're just getting beat to the basket. So I want to know which of those two he'll do, or maybe something that we haven't thought about. But the only reason you would take a timeout in that situation if you want to make a severe change, if you want to make sure your kids knew exactly what they were doing.
Here we see that change. Now we're getting a 2-2-1 full court pressure. You know, one of the things Maumee has to change is find an answer for Landon Bassett getting to the basket. That's been a huge problem for Maumee here as Hunter Muehlfeld's pass to Gavin Jessing is deflected away into the Bryan cheerleaders. Bryan will retain possession. We got a Bryan sub checking in. Carter Dominic is going to come back in for Tucker Watson. Abram Sutherland checks in for Maumee, gives Mike Kiss a rest. 6:14 left here in the game. 1 point lead for the Bears with possession. Kingston Cito out on the logo on the left side, working against Paris James. Can't get the runner to go. Hunter Muehlfeld, a good job keeping the ball alive, but it ends up in Cito's hands, who is out of bounds. So possession will go back to Maumee. The Bears stay with their press. Both teams coming strategically with pressure here in the fourth quarter, late in the game to try to change things up. And it's done a pretty good job rattling as Maumee throws the ball directly to Bryan, and then Bryan throws it back to Maumee. Ben Rubit's floater, lefty, good in the paint. Maumee back up one. Gavin Jessing just threw it before he looked to see where that one was going, and the ball was intercepted in the backcourt by Maumee. Maumee stays in their pressure. Landon Bassett's pass is picked. Ben Kubitz was getting away from him. Bassett grabs him. So maybe a good foul there by Bassett, his third, but it takes away an easy layup for Maumee. So Maumee's going to take the ball out of bounds underneath. 1 point lead, 5:34 left.
Smart play by Landon not to give up that uncontested layup.
Frustrated with himself after that turnover. He knew he didn't put enough on that to get it to the wing, and Maumee kind of baited him into it. So Bears need to stop, down one. Inbound to Sutherland, handoff to Will Kubitz, who saves it as he ran out of bounds. Boy, Ben Kubitz, like nobody else, is on the floor. A little bit of a head fake, attacks, finishes left hand off glass. Back to a 3-point lead for Maumee. Bears quickly into the front court. Gavin Jessing back to Landon Bassett. Bassett trapped and now chased by James. Gets it to Mason Welling, high left side. Kingston Cito, top of the key, attacks down the middle of the lane and drops it over the front of the rim. That's a tough ask for Paris James at 6 foot to stop that athleticism. And Cito about got the tip away from the top of the zone.
Bears a much better job of handling the pressure that time, and then once they broke it, making sure they spread that defense back out and getting back to attacking the basket.
Maumee breaks the pressure, has it now in the front court. 1 point lead, happy to be patient. Fouls are not an issue yet for either team. 2 on the Bears, 1 on Maumee. A lot of time left in this game. Paris James, wide open three-pointer, short in the corner, tipped by Dodson, right into the hands of Will Kubitz. Really heads-up play there by Eli Dodson. Back to a 3-point lead now for Maumee, and they drop back into a full-court man out of the press they were in before. Cito, strong to the basket, can't get it to go. Through some contact from Sutherland at the rim, no whistle. Mason Welling with a hustle, trying to keep it alive, but stepped on the line, so ball will go back to Maumee. Maumee with the lead, 47-44, 4:13 left on the clock. Bears are going to continue to stay with this press. You can't allow Maumee just to walk it up and kill clock at this point in the game. The Bears are getting closer and closer to a pick in the backcourt. That ball goes up ahead to Hurd. Great pass again, cutting Eli Dotson. Some good offense, some good some selfless offense, good team offense there by Maumee the last couple trips.
Yeah, Bears' backside rotation on the press just hasn't been there the last two possessions. They've just rotated slowly, and Maumee's beating them with that skip pass.
Bassett gets it to Cito up top, ran through the screen for the three at the top of the key. Grazes front iron, no good. Chased by Ben Rubitz, gets it to Hurd, to Dotson. Dotson's attacking down the lane, gets to the rim. That ball gets blocked out of bounds by Kingston Cito. Bears defense has broken down just a little bit here as of the last couple possessions. Maumee's having an easy time getting to the basket. Dotson looks to trigger it in, gets it to Brock Hurd, back up top to Will Kubitz. Now up top to Paris James Jr., 3:26 left in the game. Will Kubitz defended tightly up top by Jessing. Now Hurd has it. He falls down, and we're going to get a timeout from Coach Gillespie. He waited about half a click longer than I think I would have right there. Well, that's a big timeout. So 3:17 left. 30-second timeout for Maumee. Coach Meister, I think, this is going to be scramble time both ways. I mean, you've got two teams. Bryan's feeling better about itself. A couple of good wins last weekend. Bears have played a little better here as of late. But you got two teams, more in the loss column than in the win column, and you are at winning time in a 5-point game and a tournament game. So who's going to be able to overcome those things that happen all the time? That stuff, oh no, here we go again. Who's going to be able to overcome that, handle the adversity, and finish this thing off?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great point, because right now in the last 3 minutes of a tournament game, it's all about how you deal with the adverse conditions, right? How do you deal with the turnover, the missed call, the missed shot? How do you make a play on the defensive end of the floor? And I want to see the adjustments Bryan makes too, as well as Maumee. I think Bryan, if they're going to pressure him, they almost have to do it out of a man-to-man and run and jump versus the zone press. Maumee's figured that out.
Maumee's got it in front of the Bryan bench.
Great play by Gavin Jessing, and that.
The official called it originally off Jessing, back off of Eli Dotson, and he corrected himself. He said he pointed the wrong way. So Maumee keeps possession. Ball's inbounded to Hurd. Hurd hands off to Dotson. Dotson, reverse layup, uses the basket to protect himself, finishes off the glass. And Eli Dotson has been huge here in the fourth quarter offensively for Maumee. He's kind of come alive. Back to a 7-point lead for Maumee. Welling's pass gets tipped away, taken away by Ben Kubitz. Turnover for the Bears. Maumee now with the ball and the lead. 2:50 left in the game. Ben Kubitz going to attack all the way to the rim. Probably a little ill-advised with a 7-point lead. Cito takes it. He works all the way to the other end. Through some contact, we'll get a foul called. And we're going to call that on the floor. Official's going to call that on 21. Brock Hurd picks up his fourth. But importantly for Maumee, that was called on the floor, so the Bears will inbounds and not shoot free throws. Bassett gets it into Dominic. Easy entry into Jessing. Shot fake. I got the defender in the air twice and not able to finish. So there'll be 3 fouls on Maumee now in the quarter. Gavin Jessing is going to go to the free throw line. He's got 4 tonight. 7-point lead for Maumee. Going to try to chip away at that as his first free throw rattles in and out. 2:40 left on the clock. Maumee's got 2 timeouts left. The Bears have 3. Jessing's second free throw is good. 6-point lead now, 51-45. Maumee with the lead and the ball. Bears stay. There you go, Coach Meister. Now they're in that man-to-man full court versus the zone pressure. Jessing trying to poke the ball away up top, a little too tight. He gets whistled for the foul. That'll be his third, team's third. Both teams have 1 foul to give at this point. Maumee's Dotson will look to inbound. Good pass right there to Ben Kubitz. That was a tight window. Back to Dotson. Dotson spins into some trouble, turns the ball over. Maumee a little out of control offensively with a 6-point lead, and the Bears happy to take it. Cito from deep left side 3 is short. Comes down and hits Eli Dotson. He gathers. Now Maumee's free into the front court. 2:10 left on the main stop scoreboard. Maumee with the ball in the lead, 51-45. Dotson able to maintain his dribble, and we're going to get another timeout from Maumee. They'll have one left after this. Full timeout. We're going to take it with them here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. We'll be back with the final 2 minutes from Bryan.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Back at Bryan High School after that full timeout. Timeout sponsored by S&S Directional Boring. Don't let old lead water lines or broken sewer laterals give your home an unexpected timeout. Unsure if you have lead water lines, call S&S Directional Boring at 419-630-0726 and we'll inspect it for you. Maumee's going to have the ball. 2:01 left in the game. 6-point lead out of bounds underneath their own basket. Eli Dodson, who's been huge here for Maumee in the fourth quarter, doing a little bit of everything, will inbound. Little block-to-block screen, try to pin on the backside. Ball gets kicked out of bounds by the Bears. Maumee resets.
Bears need to get a turnover. I think they can play hard defense till about the 140 mark, and I think you got to start to think about fouling.
Tough pass down low, corralled by Maumee. Ball gets poked away from Hurd, and the official is going to say out of bounds off of Hurd. So Bears get their stop. 1:52 left, down 6. Kingston Cito will bring it up the floor against a half-court man by Maumee.
Flip side is we got to have a good offensive possession here.
Cito got it down deep, finishes off over Carson Grates, gets it to 4.
I still think you can play defense to about the 120 mark. I don't think
Maumee
you
a
have to
little
foul right
sloppy
away.
with the ball, got really lucky. That ball ended up in the hands of Carson Grates. He works against Welling. Got it down deep, kicked it out. Ben Kubitz has it up top, 125 left. Oh, my. Kingston Cito thought he might have picked his pocket clean. I'm not so sure he didn't. That's a tough one. After all the contact tonight, that's a tough whistle. 4th foul on the Bears this quarter, 3rd on Cito. So not shooting yet. Still a lot of time. 1:23 left. Bears down 4. Ball's inbounded in the back court to Ben Kubitz. Chases it down, defended by Welling. Cito runs to double. Ball gets tipped away by Mason Welling, gathered by Ben Kubitz. Gets it into the front court to Carson Grates. Grates defended by Dominic.
I think now you got to foul.
And he's happy to dribble around. Yeah, and I think the Bears are going to have to foul because Maumee's happy to dribble. And then we get that foul from Carter Dominic. 1:01 on the clock. 4-point lead for Maumee, shooting 2 free throws. 51-47 on the main stop scoreboard.
If you're the Bears, I don't think you need to rush. You're probably going to get at least 4 more possessions if you foul out of this offense. So whether he makes or misses the 4 or 6 point, to me, that makes no difference on the quality of shot you want at the offensive end. A 2 will be just fine no matter what.
Carson Grates rattles that free throw home. He's got 3 points all on free throws tonight. He sits on 4 fouls. Brock Hurd sits on 4 fouls. On the Bryan side, Jessing, Bassett, and Cito all have 3. Second free throw is good. So a 6-point lead for Maumee. Like you said, still a 2-possession game. Bears get it in. Mason Welling crosses the timeline. Handoff to Gavin Jessing. Fumbled by Jessing. Regather. Gets it to Cito, working against Carson Grates. Grates pokes it away. Cito regathers. Thought about the step back 3. Gathered a little extra company. Finds Jessing down low. Finish off glass. Bucket for the Bears. Full timeout for Coach Parker. We'll take a full one with them here on the Golden Bears Sports Network and be back for the final 44 seconds.
Hi, I'm Tom Turnbull of Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. We are family-owned, family-focused. caring for families for over 100 years.
It's great working with family. The relationship we have with one another allows us to focus on your family and help guide you through the planning process.
We focus in on your family's needs to make sure that everything is done the way that you and your family want.
Right now, our family wants a Golden Bear victory.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
All right, back at Bryan High School. Maumee, the visitor on the scoreboard, leads 53-49, has the ball, needs to go to the length of the court. Maumee has 1 timeout left. The Bears have 2. Maumee has a foul to give. Every foul from here on out is a shooting foul for Maumee. That's real close, real close. I can't believe they got a 5. I'm not sure what Dotson was waiting on. Big turnover for the Bears. No time goes off the clock, and they get the ball back. Got the ball underneath their own basket.
Can't stress enough the importance of this possession. They don't need a 3. Kingston Seals are going to draw all kinds of attention. Something where if you're his teammate, you've got to be conscientious about cutting to the basket.
The Bears can't get it inbounds. Landon Bassett will call a timeout. So back-to-back inbounds where the ball couldn't get in for either team. That's a full timeout for the Bears. We're going to stay here. Nice break for the Bears. 44.3 on the clock. They get a turnover with nothing running off. It's a 2-possession ball game, down 4. You still have the ball underneath your basket. You still have a timeout left. Maumee can give that 1 foul if they want to. But like you said, the Bears need a good shot. They don't need the first one. They don't need the hero 3. Find a way to get yourself a good look. And the nice thing for Coach Parker is now out of this full timeout, you got a chance to draw up something and get yourself the best look you can get. And the Bears have been good around the rim. Try to find something where you can get a shooter, some contact, and maybe get a 3-point play.
Yeah, as a coach, you know this, you always keep one in your back pocket. You have an out-of-bounds play for this specific situation that you only run once or twice all year. Maybe you even haven't run. You worked on it because you know at some point in tournament or maybe for a league championship, you're going to be in this situation, so you go to your absolute best out-of-bounds play, and that out-of-bounds play better have 2 or 3 different options in case they defend the first 2. Let's see what Bryan runs from out-of-bounds.
Well, nobody's going to ask me to run a lot of baseline out-of-bounds clinics, but I'm going to tell you cross plus is magic right here, going to get you a good bucket on the backside. We have run the lob to Kingston Cito also quite a few times. We haven't shown that as of late. That's a play that we have left. They try to run Cito off. Carter Dominic came free. Jessen comes free. Gets a look at a 3. Got mauled. Ooh. And then we're going to get pretty much a tough luck foul, really, called on Eli Dodson. And Jessen got mauled on that 3-point attempt out there. I think on both arms. I'd hate to even have to put that in the stat book as a missed 3.
I'm surprised they didn't call because the big thing is you protect the shooter and give him room to land, and he did neither.
Cito works off of a couple screens, tries again, finds Jessing, nice pass down low. Shot fakes, gets Ben Kubitz up in the air, so that's going to be on Kubitz, his second. That'll be the 5th on Maumee, so both teams shooting the rest away, 31.8 left. Jessing goes to the free throw line. Chance to cut this lead in half, 53-49 Maumee. First free throw. Rattles out. Boy, that's unfriendly. Rattle around a bunch, hit the back plate, kicked out to the right. Nothing hurt as far as Bryan's concerned. Make this bucket, get it to a 1-possession ball game, force another turnover. Free throw is good. Jessen gets to 8, cuts the lead to 3. 1-possession game. Maumee gets the ball into Greats. He pushes ahead, chased by Welling. Finds Sutherland by himself on the backside. And then we're going to get an intentional foul, and that's just a bad mistake you can't make right there.
No, that's just a play you simply cannot make. That's just when you reach around and you foul up front. That's just a 2-hand shove in the back, and that's an easy call for the official.
Unfortunately,
what makes it more difficult is they're going to get the ball back.
Yep.
2 free throws and the possession. And now the Bears are going to be in a situation probably where they have to foul right away.
And Carter Dominic knew he needed a foul right there, and he knows as a senior he can't afford to do that. Just trying to keep him from getting a shot off. Reaction there, instinctual more than intentional. First free throw from Sutherland is good. Second one is good. Sutherland had 7 at the half. That's his first 2 points of the second half, and those are huge. 5-point lead now for Maumee with possession. 25.7 on the clock. Bears cannot allow Maumee to bleed a lot of clock now, needing 2 possessions and stops. Kubik up to Dotson.
Got a foul.
Dotson trying to hold it to get fouled. Down in the paint to Ben Kubitz. He gets fouled by Landon Bassett. That'll be his 4th. 18.8 left on the clock. Ben Kubitz is going to go to the line. He's got 11. Junior guard has been pretty solid tonight for the Maumee Panthers.
So now for the Bears coaching staff, you're talking about 2 things. A 6-point lead versus a 5-point lead, because that changes your offensive philosophy all the way around. So now that goes to 6, I don't think you have a choice. You've got to get a 3, and you've got to either foul, get a turnover. Bears do have a timeout left, so they can get a basket and score. If he makes this, now I think you can go back to maybe getting a 2.
Second free throw, front iron, glass, and good. 7-point game, 3-possession game, more importantly. 17 on the clock. Cito quickly will attack, off glass. Doesn't go, but does get the whistle. Greats will foul out. Kingston Cito will go to the line, try to cut into this lead. 12.9 on the clock. Maumee by 7. Carson Greats gets a good hand from the Maumee crowd. Has been a pest all night long defensively, but did his job. Did exactly what Coach Gillespie needed out of him tonight. Caused a lot of havoc, even with now Cito getting to 21. When Greats was defending Cito, he's just a pain. Did a nice job being exactly what he needed to be. Cito's second free throw is good. 5-point lead for Maumee. Bears need a quick turnover, maybe get another 5-second call. Dotson has it. Inbounds to Ben Kubitz, who runs away from the Bears defense, gets fouled in the front court with 9.1 left. Shooting 2 free throws again. Coach Meister, we know, like, when you're down and you've got to chase, you spend a lot of energy coming back in basketball games, and the Bears spent a lot of energy, got back into the lead, just not able to hold it. And I said it before the Bears took the lead, Maumee was just always able to find an answer. Any run the Bears made, they stopped at 4, they stopped at 6, never let us really get on a roll. We didn't get a lot of clean looks at anything. You got to give a lot of credit to the Maumee squad here on being able to withstand the Bears at home on a Tuesday night, as both those free throws go. 15 now for Ben Kubitz, 7-point lead. Cito attacks, finishes with the dunk at the rim. Maumee's just going to allow the clock to run out. And that'll be the final here from Bryan High School. Maumee comes in, gets the 59-54 win in tonight's D4 sectional. Bears season will come to an end at home. Both teams will go through and shake hands. Coach Parker and his squad of Bryan Golden Bears, nothing to hang their heads about. That's not the way you wanted it to end. You had a chance to host a tournament game, but the reality of it is, I think that they're going to be really proud of how their season ended. They did a lot of good things as the year went on, especially finishing last weekend with the double win weekend, and that was a big deal for the Bears. I see both teams go out to half court at the end of the game. All right, well, we're going to get some stats together, look at how things ended up like they did. Maumee gets the 5-point win here at Bryan in the tournament game. We're going to take a break on the Golden Bear Sports Network, come back and talk some numbers and get ourselves ready for tomorrow's broadcast from Miller City.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
Rooting on the Golden Bears is a tradition that brings us all together.
Just like the sports we love, another tradition has stood the test of time. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory since 1922. We've been part of the community, supporting you in the moments of celebration and loss.
Just like a team, we understand the value of traditions and the love that binds us together.
So whether it's cheering for a win or celebrating a life well lived, remember we are here for you.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Back at Bryan High School here, where Maumee has won to advance to play Bellevue in the next round of the Division IV OHSA basketball tournament. I want to thank tonight's sponsors for all of their help producing or making this game possible. We want to thank the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and Field Supply Center. Tough loss there for the Golden Bears tonight. Really good group of seniors. They've been through a lot of rough moments over 4 years. There's no secret, that things didn't go their way a lot of times in these winter seasons, and these kids stuck it out. One thing you could look at is that one league win in their high school career. Not many, I don't think, any double-digit seasons in wins. It'd be real easy for some of these kids. You look at a Carter Dominic, for example, who's a tremendous baseball player, or Landon Bassett, who's got a bright future in tennis, Mason Welling, who plays other sports. It's been easy for these guys to say along the line, hey, you know what, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to work on this. And in a day and age where kids seem to do that all the time, those kids didn't do that. And you had those seniors stick it out. And I know Mr. Hughes down there just thanked all of them, but seniors that played their last game tonight at Bryan High School, Mason Welling, Drew Engstrom, Hunter Muehlfeld, Gavin Jessing, Landon Bassett, Carter Dominic. Those guys gave everything they could to this program, whether it was in the offseason or during the season. It would have been real easy for them at some point along the way to say, you know what, I'm going to go work on that other thing. I'm going to go do that other thing. And they never did that. And you got to give kids like that a lot of credit for sticking it out.
No, and all those kids are very high character. They were good representatives of Bryan High School, like you said. I was so glad to see them get the win against Wauseon, because for this senior group has been through so much. And if you said Coach Arnold has just hung in there, have represented Bryan very well. I wanted them to be the guys that broke the streak. I didn't want them to have to carry that with them on their way out. Certainly a disappointing loss for them tonight, but you can't fault the effort. They played very hard. Some unfortunate plays here and there, but you know what? That's competition. There's a winner, there's a loser. That's the risk you take when you play athletics. And I'll echo what you said, just great kids. And they could have cashed it in. They could have said, I'm going to go do something else, but they didn't. They hung in there. And that's how programs start to get built.
Yeah, and the one thing out of that I would definitely echo is that these guys, they didn't have a ton of success. The success in terms of wins and losses is not going to be reflected in their record. They're not going to look back and remember that stuff, but they'll remember what they went through. They'll remember the work that they put in and the life lessons in situations like this where you continue to show up and you continue to show up and you do the work that's necessary. Those are things that they can build on for later. They're going to go through tough times again later on, and they know they've been through this stuff. You and I said this when we were young coaches. If the worst thing that happens to us is we lose a basketball game, we've talked to some kids. The worst thing that happens to you if you get cut from a team, and that's the worst thing that happens in life. You got a pretty good life going on.
Yeah,
so
amen.
The adversity you deal with here when you're 15, 16, 17, 18 years old is great for you to deal with, because you're going to deal with some tough stuff later on in life. And these guys have battled through, and they're going to be better for it when they come out on the other side. So let's look at some stats from tonight's game and talk about how we got to this point.
Yeah, let's look at team stats first from Maumee. They were just outstanding from the field tonight. They were 15 for 29 from the 2, 5 for 17 from the 3, 8 offensive rebounds, 21 defensive rebounds, turned the ball over 10 times, and were 14 for 14 from the free throw line. That's pretty good. My statistician, I just double-checked with her.
Game.
She said, nope, my handwriting's right. 14 out of 14.
I don't think she'd tell you if she was wrong, but we're going to go with her being right regardless.
Let's just go to Bryan team stats, Coach Arnold. For Bryan, 17 for 41 from the 2, 2 for 13 from the 3, and they did have trouble making threes tonight. They got 11 offensive rebounds, 13 defensive rebounds, only turned it over 17 times, and they were really good from the line tonight too, 14 for 19. Let's look at individual scoring. For Maumee, they were led by Ben Kubitz with 15. Paris James Jr. chipped in with 3. Brock Hurd, 2. Eli Dodson with 10. Carson Grates with 4. Will Kubitz with 8. Big Mike Kiss with 8. And a kid who I think may have been the difference tonight was Abram Sutherland. He came in and had 9, and you talked about him a lot, Coach Arnold, about he came in and just gave them a different vibe when he was on the floor. For the Golden Bears, they were led tonight by Kingston Cito with 24. Gavin Jessing with 8. Landon Bassett with 10. Carter Dominic with 8. And Tucker Watson with 4.
And those points for Tucker Watson, I remember the first half, that run the Bears made, end of the first, into the second. He had back-to-back or 2 out of 3 buckets there as we went from the end of the first into the second quarter, provided some great minutes for the Bears. You know, Sutherland, you talked about, 7 in the first half, and then he didn't play the third quarter, came out and showed the same kind of energy. Again, that's a great thing to see out of a kid. You know, he could be sitting there sulking on the bench in the third quarter saying, hey, man, I was our leading scorer at the half, and I'm getting frozen out over here. But he sprinted on the floor, did what Coach Gillespie needed him to do. So I think, he's probably Coach Gillespie going to watch the tape and see some things that he likes out of that kid's effort tonight.
You know, with both teams, you always get concerned when you have a tournament matchup, and like you said, neither team with double-digit wins, you worry about where's the kids' heads, where's their effort at. I thought for 2 teams who hadn't had an abundance of wins this year, the effort was phenomenal. I thought both teams just played extremely hard. And when that happens, you know the kids respect the program, they respect the coach, because if they don't, they're not going to play hard in that situation. And both teams just, again, busted their tails tonight. It was an entertaining game from that standpoint. And even through the sloppiness, you knew it was out of effort and not out of lack of effort. So both teams were very proud of the effort they put in tonight.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. That's a great point, because you could have walked in this gym not knowing anything about Bryan or Maumee, and you wouldn't have guessed records. I think you'd say, boy, these are a couple of top seeds in this district that are getting after it. This could have been a district semifinal game by the way these two were getting after it, the way – and this isn't a negative. The way it was officiated like a tournament game.
Absolutely.
Not that there wasn't anything called. There were plenty of fouls called, but fouls were fouls. Like there was very few nickel-dimers all night long. And when things got a little bit out of hand, you talked about it early, the one official took control, talked to the players. He saw something he didn't like later. He teed a player up, got things under control, because there was a lot of chippiness tonight, too, on both sides when the competitiveness got ramped up some. So you got to be pretty happy about. I was impressed by the effort, and I was impressed by what we got from the Stripes tonight, too. Bad result for the Bears, but an entertaining game to watch.
Yep.
So we're going to take one more break here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. We'll come back. We'll do our thanks, and we'll talk a little bit about tomorrow's game down in Miller City with the Bryan Lady Bears. We'll be back after this.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
All right, back at Bryan High School, wrapping things up for tonight's ball game. Maumee defeats Bryan in the sectional tournament. Let's take a look. Tomorrow night, we'll be right back on the air in Division IV girls basketball tournament action. District semifinal, the Bryan Lady Bears will face Wauseon. Rematch from earlier in the season in the league. Wauseon came to Bryan and nipped the Bears. Close ball game at the half, close ball game at the end of 3. Wauseon able to pull away a little bit in the fourth quarter. And the Bryan contingency is thinking, you know what, let's do what we did with Napoleon. Napoleon kind of put it on us a little bit. Our coaching staff had a chance to watch some video, had a chance to come up with a game plan. They've had this time again to do this, and we'll see if the Lady Bears can reverse fortune a little bit tomorrow night at Miller City.
I mean, the Lady Bears have them right where they want them, right? They lost by double digits in the regular season. Get to play them in tournament. That's our comfort level. That's where we want to be, correct? I mean, seems to me that's where it is.
Got them overconfident and thinking that they got us, so right where we want them.
Yeah, Lady Bears have had a tremendous second half of the season, made a great run. This is how many straight times to the district now?
A lot.
Yeah, and again, we talked about a little bit this last year at the end of the game, and I wish we had more time now to discuss it, but in a nutshell, I hope the people of Bryan appreciate the number of consecutive trips the Lady Bears have made to the districts, because you know this, Coach Arnold, it's hard. It's not easy to get the districts. I don't care where you're at, what division. In high school basketball, you should never take that for granted. So congrats to the Lady Bears against Wauseon. If they play like they did against Napoleon, I think we're going to be right in the contest.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of effort we get out of the Lady Bears tomorrow night. So I want to thank our crew tonight. Director John Dalrymple did a fantastic job keeping a couple of old guys focused and on task. Down on our cameras, Gabby Malenga, Colton Sheeline, Lily Walker, and Trinity Sampson. I want to thank BHS Athletics, Nathan Keel and Teresa Kuzmal, Golden Bear Photo, Matt Neff, and Stephanie Ponsack, WQCT Radio, back at the station, Rick Armentrout. And as always, our excellent executive producer, Chris Malenga, for the Golden Bear Sports Network. I will mention this was our last basketball broadcast of the season from in this gym, and it's been a fun winter season again. We're looking forward. Hopefully tomorrow night will not be the last go around for basketball, but it's been an outstanding season once again. I know when I run into people, they're always very thankful for us having the opportunity to stream and for us having the opportunity to call games. I'm extremely thankful that Coach Meister and I have gotten to do so many of these games together. It's been a ton of fun. So one last time here, I want to thank all of those people. This broadcast is produced by the Golden Bear Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any duplication or other use of this broadcast, including descriptions or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Bryan City School District, is prohibited. One final time for all of us at the Golden Bear Sports Network. With Tim Meister, I'm Brian Arnold. Again, final score tonight, Maumee nips the Bears 59-54. Have a great night, everybody.